It was a quiet morning in early June in the northern suburbs of Edinburgh, where Caitriona Balfe and Sam Heughan were living temporarily as they prepared to welcome their first child. A gentle breeze blew through the windows of their rustic wooden house, the scent of lavender wafted in from the small garden, and everything seemed absolutely peaceful. But no one expected that, in just a short moment, everything would be turned upside down. Caitriona was in her 8th month of pregnancy, a sensitive time, full of anticipation but also many risks. She usually woke up early to meditate and write in her diary, while Sam prepared breakfast. But that morning, when he returned to the room with a glass of orange juice, he found her holding her stomach, her face pale, sweating and her eyes panicked. "Sam, something's wrong?" Caitriona whispered, her voice weak. Without a second's hesitation, Sam dropped everything on the table and ran to help her. In that moment, the entire world held its breath. He quickly called an ambulance, rubbing her back and whispering reassuringly in her ear. "I'm here, Kates. It's okay, we'll be fine." Caitriona was taken to Edinburgh Royal Infirmary. Sam followed the ambulance, holding her hand tightly. On the way, he tried to hide the panic that was exploding inside him, but his worried eyes and pounding heart betrayed it all. News of Caitriona's condition spread quickly. A nurse at the hospital leaked the information to the press within 30 minutes of her admission. Caitriona Balfe, the star of Outlander, is pregnant, just rushed to the emergency room. The media reported the news with the sensational headline, "Shock. Caitriona Balfe rushed to hospital while pregnant with Sam Heughan's child." Fans everywhere began to panic. Twitter exploded. The hashtag Pray for Caitriona quickly trended worldwide. Everyone was asking, what happened in the hospital? Sam sat in the hallway, his hands clenched so tightly that his knuckles turned white. He had faced hundreds of intense scenes, been exposed to cold snow and flying bullets on film sets, but he had never felt so helpless. He prayed silently, not for his career, not for his reputation, but for the life of the woman he loved and the life of his unborn child. A doctor stepped out, his face serious. "Mr. Heughan, we need to take Caitriona to the intensive care unit. There are signs of preeclampsia and unstable blood pressure. We are trying to stabilize the situation." Sam almost collapsed. All the surrounding sounds seemed muffled, except for the chaotic beating of his heart. An hour later, a nurse came to take him to the hospital room. Caitriona lay there, her face pale, her eyes half closed, but she managed a weak smile when he walked in. "I'm sorry, I scared you," she whispered. Sam walked over and kissed her forehead. "No, don't apologize. As long as you and the baby are okay, I can give anything." He held her hand all night. They didn't say much, but their eyes were filled with understanding, as if the deepest things needed no words. Caitriona was kept under special observation for the next 48 hours. The doctors decided to keep her in the hospital until her due date. Although she was still at risk, her condition was gradually stabilizing. During those days, Sam didn't leave the hospital. He slept in a chair next to the bed, read children's books to the baby, and even did a short livestream thanking fans for their prayers. "We're getting through this. She's a fighter, and the baby is just as stubborn." On the 4th night, it was raining lightly. Sam looked out the window of the hospital room, suddenly overcome with emotion. "You know, Kates," he said, his voice choked. "Since the day I met you, I have never been truly afraid of losing anything until now. I can't imagine life without you, and the baby." Caitriona reached up to touch his cheek, where tears silently fell. "Then let's live. For each other. For the baby," she replied softly. The next morning, the newspapers reported, "Good news, Caitriona Balfe is stable. Sam Heughan is always by her side." The world breathed a sigh of relief. And for them, the people involved, it was more than just news. It was the strongest reminder. True love will always hold you together, even in your weakest moments. 10 days had passed since Caitriona had been admitted to the hospital. 10 days Sam Heughan had practically lived in the hospital room, eating with her, sleeping next to her, and watching her every little expression. No longer the charming hunk on screen, Sam was now simply a man awaiting the birth of his first child, nervous, fearful, and hopeful. The doctors had announced that the fetus was developing normally again, but they had chosen the safest option, a slightly earlier than expected cesarean section. The date was set, June 10, just 3 days away. Sam couldn't hide his excitement. He had been in countless birth scenes on Outlander, where everything was scripted, the lighting was perfect, and the acting was dramatic. But this was different. There was no script for this real-life situation. There was no director to call, cut. Only his heart, beating for the little life yet to come, and for the woman facing real pain. "Are you scared?" Caitriona asked softly, her voice low but still firm. Sam smiled, his hand taking hers. "Scared. A lot. But not for you, but because the world might not be good enough for a beautiful creature like you." Caitriona smiled. It was the smile of a mother about to welcome a child, but also the smile of a woman who had been through it all, strong enough to know that they would be okay with each other. "Do you think it will be like Jamie and Claire?" she asked, recalling the two characters who had been with them for a decade. Sam chuckled. "No, we're better than them. I don't need to go back to the 18th century to be a heroine. I'm already the bravest woman you've ever known." For a moment, they were both silent. No more words were needed. Just the sound of their hearts beating together, an unspoken promise. June 10. The light morning rain seemed to wash away any lingering worries. Caitriona was wheeled into the operating room at 8 o'clock a.m. Sam, in his sterile gown, shook slightly as he held her hand. He couldn't see anything behind the medical drapes, but he felt it, every breath, every groan of pain, every movement on the face of his beloved. And then, a cry rang out. Loud, strong, full of life. Caitriona burst into tears, this time the purest tears of her life. Sam was stunned for a few seconds, then her eyes reddened as the nurse brought the baby closer. A girl, pink skin, eyes closed, and tiny fingers clutching his hand as if she had recognized her father from the first moment. "Hello, baby," he whispered, choking back tears. "Daddy's here." As they were wheeled back into the recovery room, Caitriona, exhausted, tried to keep her gaze soft on Sam. "What should we name her?" she asked, softly. Sam had thought about this many times. But now, seeing her, the answer came naturally. "Ella Skye Heughan," he said. "Ella, because you said you liked soft names. And Skye, because we always dreamed of a peaceful place for her to grow up." Caitriona nodded, her smile weak but beaming with happiness. "The name is perfect." A few hours later, the news exploded across the newspapers. "Congratulations! Caitriona Balfe and Sam Heughan have welcomed their first baby girl, Ella Skye Heughan." Sam's Instagram posted a black and white photo, Ella's tiny hand holding his big finger. The caption was short but stormy. "You came to us like a gentle breeze, but brought the whole world with you. Ella Skye, you are the light of our lives." Fans around the world sent their congratulations. Outlander, fan pages and forums exploded. Co-stars also sent their wishes, from Tobias Menzies, Sophie Skelton to Diana Gabaldon, the author of the original novel. In the following days, Caitriona recovered slowly but steadily. Sam became a great companion, learning how to change diapers, rock her to sleep, and being by his wife's side every moment. He once said that being a father was an unscripted role, but one he was willing to commit his whole life to. One night, as Ella slept peacefully in her crib, Caitriona turned to her and asked, "Do you remember the day I went to the hospital?" Sam smiled. "I remember it so clearly. I thought I might lose you both." She took his hand. "But you're here, and so is Ella." Sam kissed her forehead. "And I won't lose anything else." Caitriona and Sam's story, from screen to real life, is proof that true love isn't about glamour, but about moments of overcoming storms together. Ella Skye isn't just a child, she's a beacon of hope, the crystallization of timeless love between two people who were once just co-stars. Now, they're a family.